We are now 3 days after the Iowa caucus, and almost all of the results have now been reported. The updated Democrats' delegate count shows Pete Buttigieg with a razor-thin lead over Bernie Sanders. Both have about 26%. They're followed by Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, and Amy Klobuchar. Ed O'Keefe is in Manchester, New Hampshire for us. Ed, good morning. You've been covering the primary campaign there. With the updated Iowa results, are any candidates changing their strategies?
A little bit, Tony. Good morning. There are just a few days left until Tuesday's primary, so no time to waste. And former Vice President Joe Biden especially is trying to distinguish himself from fellow moderate Pete Buttigieg. He did so in part by discussing something last night that he rarely discusses in public.
Looking in the mirror with a flashlight in my face because you get embarrassed because you can torch your face, and it's embarrassing.
While opening up extensively about his stutter as a child, former Vice President Joe Biden made a passionate plea.
We just have to reach out a little more for people, man. We don't do it enough. We've got to heal this country.
Earlier, he'd admitted political vulnerability after a poor showing in Iowa.
I am not going to sugarcoat it. We took a gut punch in Iowa.
Biden then focused his attention on his opponents, especially former Mayor Pete Buttigieg.
It's a risk, to be just straight up with you, for this party to nominate someone who's never held an office higher than mayor of a town of 100,000 people in Indiana.
The former vice president is hoping the contrast makes a difference in New Hampshire, as the Iowa results so far show 38-year-old Buttigieg was able to find broad support across the state, especially in rural counties and across all age groups. But close behind Buttigieg is Bernie Sanders, who's polling at the top in New Hampshire.
We're going to end the divisiveness in this country, and we're going to bring people together.
Whoever is the eventual Democratic nominee knows they'll need to try reconstructing the Obama coalition, a broad alliance of voters who came from different backgrounds.
She's a janitor's daughter who has become one of the country's fiercest advocates for the middle class.
That explains why Biden is no longer the only one claiming to be the heir to the former president's legacy.
Mayor Bloomberg and President Obama worked together in the fight for gun safety laws.
Bloomberg will not be joining fellow contenders on the debate stage here in New Hampshire tomorrow night, the only debate before the primary, but he might end up on a debate stage in Nevada or South Carolina later this month, now that the DNC has changed its rules and eliminated a requirement that candidates have certain donors. Gayle, of course, the multi-billionaire Bloomberg is paying for his campaign all by himself.
Yes, I mean, he's making that very clear. Thank you very much, Ed.